Well, hello everyone. Hello. My name is Josh. I'm joined by Manuel, Michael, Katie, and Casey. We're all very, very excited to talk to you today. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. Before we begin, we are students. We are kind of in our little ivory tower. We don't have clients, but we're still very, very excited to speak to you, and hopefully we can generate some good conversation after. So to get started, you asked us what we think is fresh right now in advertising, and we really want to thank you for giving us that topic. You also asked us show some campaigns we really like. So we tried to integrate both into one and talk to you guys about participation in opinion sharing. It's something that really, really excites us. That's showing up in a lot of our work here at school. Also happens to be a lot of the work we really like out there as well. So let's start from the beginning. So the most restrictive barrier to opinion sharing is the lack of opportunity. It's kind of obvious. You know, we're opinionated people by nature. Opinions manifest themselves in us all the time, but we don't always have the opportunity to share it. And that's something that's quickly evolving. So let me give you an example. In grade school, teacher asked a question, and everyone decided to raise their hand. They all had an opinion. So sadly, only one person's hand was picked, and their opinion was shared. But if you weren't picked, your opinion was lost. It usually ended right there and then. You had an opinion, you wanted to share it, but you never got that opportunity. But that's obviously all changed and very rapidly. Now we just post. We don't wait for that opportunity for someone to ask us what our opinion is, because we have these. We're connected now. We have the opportunity at any given moment in time. And this, funny enough, has really turned into our soapbox, which is kind of fun. But it puts us in a very interesting position with brands on how a single opinion can really generate a lot of buzz in either direction for it. So we publish, and we publish a lot. What we're doing is we're reposting tags that are commented on a post that was tagged on a retweet of a bit.ly URL shortened tag. It can get really complicated, but the simple thing is we're sharing opinions, and we're sharing them more and more every day. And we're getting more comfortable sharing those opinions. So, at this point, anything is really fair game. What we have here is a point where we're so comfortable sharing our opinions, it doesn't have to be monumental for us to share that, to share opinion on it. It could be something very small in our lives. It could happen right at that moment, but because we have an opportunity to share it, we do. It's funny looking at my Facebook feed over the last even 6 months. It's starting to become much more opinionated on much smaller events in people's lives. But they're very important to people. People like them and share them and tag them and comment on them. So every experience will eventually be judged by someone somewhere. And that's something that we're kind of excited about, because we have a much more open world now where everyone can share their opinions on everything. And so as brands, as I said before, they really can go in either direction just based on one opinion, because one opinion could go big and go viral, and suddenly one person's soapbox turn into a national soapbox. We don't no longer need to call a radio station to give our opinion, or publish a newspaper editorial, or publish a book. There's no barrier anymore. So in this age of soapbox media, when we brainstorm with our work, we think about, all right, how can we get over this new challenge of us, where people are going to be actively engaging in opinion making about what we're telling them and what we're communicating with them. And what we really like is participation, is to get the people we're talking to really involved in our message in a very, very intimate manner. So participation really creates ownership, we think, and we think that's kind of cool. As people who love to participate in these types of communications, we feel like we somehow gain a bit of that brand within us because we participate with that brand. When people participate, they contributed, they had purpose, and they mattered. And that's kind of cool that we can now create this dialogue where people are really buying into our communication on a very immediate level. So it really creates emotional shareholders. They take some of their emotions and they put them back into the brands, because they themselves have taken part of the message. So today we would like to talk to you about some ways that we really like to get this done, some ways that we feel pretty passionate about, and also what we see out in the open that we really love to check out. So without any further ado, I'd like to pass it over to my good friend Manuel and skydiving partner. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hola. Let's begin. Welcome to Brands with Emotions. Let's start. You wouldn't win a Nobel Prize if you start saying people that brands aren't what they used to be. Obvious? Yes, it is. But maybe if you start telling that participation is as important as the message. You know why? Because think about this. I can relate to a brand because I know its personality. That brand has something that I can relate to, and that's where the relationship starts. It's why we engage to the brand, because I like what they have, because I have it. In the past, it was only a one-way conversation, but thankfully, we evolve. And just like Charles Darwin would said or taught us, only the strongest survive. And if you take that idea into the brand, it's the same thing. Only the strongest brands that adapt this kind of mentality will survive in the advertising universe. Because now we can finally have a real conversation, thankfully. Because the brand can start saying their message, but I can say what is on my mind, what's my opinion, and I can build, like, keep on with the conversation. From something small, we can have our own unique thing, and we turn out to be big, huge. For example, the other day, J.S. Bill asked the Old Spice guy can you ask my girlfriend to marry me? Her name is Angela Hutt Chamberlain. Sounds weird? And this is what happened.
On Twitter, J.S. Beals tweets, "Can you ask my girlfriend to marry me? Her name is Angela A. Hutt-Chamberlain. J.S. Beals, thank you for your tweet, and I'd be honored to honorably honor your honorable request. Miss Angela A. Hutt-Chamberlain, it seems like yesterday that you met J.S. Beals, but your love has blossomed from a seed into a fully grown love plant. And now it's time to fertilize that plant. Angela A. Hutt-Chamberlain, will you make J.S. Beals the happiest man in the world and marry him in real life? We'll be eagerly awaiting your reply. Eagerly."
And honestly, I was eager to know what happened. Thankfully, for the guy, he said yes. And for me, that is huge, because I would love to have done that. I would love, if I got a girlfriend, that the Old Spice guy proposed to my girlfriend. It's like, I don't care if she didn't like the idea. I don't care if it was on internet. Honestly, I don't care. She can have the wedding. Let me have this. This is my special thing. And the thing is that from something small, as a simple tweet, it became a conversation. It became a story that everybody talked about for days. And you know why? Because finally, we can go back and forth creating a unique story. And that's important nowadays. Another good example is that randomly on my Twitter live feed, I saw the Domino's asking me something, that if I was feeling a little bit slow today, and if I was, they advised me to take a nap because it was National #Lazy Day. And if they have any problem with the boss, it's okay. They say it was cool with it. And you may say that this do not have to do anything with the brand, but in a way it does, because they're showing the personality. I mean, even though I'm a big fan of the pizza, I love it, of the taste and the product, whatever. But the thing is that because of this, it makes me to retweet to my friends. And as I said, from a single tweet, I just like sparse it to the different person I know. And that's special. Another good example is that the user Fer Mendoza just tweeted, "Munch the rainbow, taste the rainbow at Skittles." She or he, I don't know, just tweeted the slogan of the brand. The best part, they responded. "Fer Mendoza, you make me feel like a moose that finally found a hat that fits." I don't even know what that means. I just retweeted and I liked it. Because as weird as it may sound, I know that I was honestly waiting for that answer, because Skittles is the class clown of the candy industry. But the good thing, or maybe like the special thing about this, is that a human being on a Twitter site just tweeted something from the computer and asked a bag of candy, to have a conversation. It's something amazing. Weird, but I like that example. You may have heard of this little site called Facebook that you can add friends, trustworthy friends. But now we can add brands, trustworthy brands. And a good thing about that site is that I can poke people. And finally, the Pillsbury guy can poke me back. And for me, my friends, that's magical. The poking conversation, as you may name it. So, last example. The other day, a brave person, a daredevil, I may say, wrote a hashtag creating an epic battle between two of the biggest brand names in the fast food industry, McDonald's versus Burger King. And this, for me, when I saw it, was like, wow, because this is a perfect opportunity to show the loyal support to your favorite brand. This was epic because this is like, not only I'm showing support, and they know that I'm support my favorite burger with combo in France, whatever, but there was a band of brothers. We were united for a brand creating an epic battle. Interesting. So, what I want to say is that brands have to walk the walk. They have to adapt. They have to let us participate. Or, like we like to say, they have to tweet the tweet. Because when you participate, you feel that you belong. And that is a great feeling. It's like what everybody wants to feel, belong to somewhere. And when you do that, when you participate, you're part of something big, something huge, but mostly something special. And now I would like to invite my good friend and tattoo artist, Michael Malls.
All right, I don't have any tattoos, but another way that when we were discussing participation that we really liked how brands are doing is what we call personalized entertainment. So personalized entertainment is really entertainment that is unique to you. It's something that no matter how widespread it is or no matter how widespread the video is, it's still your own personal experience, which is really quite interesting because you end up getting your own personalized piece of entertainment, which is really interesting. And why we like this is because it ends up being irresistible in many ways. When you get your own personal piece of entertainment from a brand, it's rarely something that you can keep inside. You're not just going to keep it to yourself and never tell anyone about it. You want to share it. So we felt that this ends up becoming something that really helps generating opinions and being a part of the whole opinion market and everyone wanting to discuss and share opinions. So a great example of this, Skittles again, they came out with something called the Super Mega Rainbow Updater. And basically this was something where, we all submit our status updates every day through many different ways. So you'd give them your status update and they would give it back to you in video format. And this is great for many reasons. First of all, it creates a very strong relationship with the brand because they've given you something personal. They've sort of singled you out. And you're definitely going to remember that for years to come. And also, this is for sure, as I just said, something that you're not going to keep it to yourself. You're not going to watch this and not tell anyone about it. It was built for the social world. It's built to share with people. It's built to show people. It's built to say, hey, look at what Skittles did for me. And it's going to generate buzz. It's going to get everyone wanting to get in on the action. So really, people share content that involves them. And that's the truth. That's really what an opinion is. You want to share what you're into. You want to share the stuff that you like. And you want to share stuff that really kind of has to do with you. So personalized entertainment, when it deals with you first and foremost, it's something that you're for sure going to want to share. So a great reason for this is also because, we're all after the likes. We're all after that thumbs up button. You want to see the activity. You want to see, as Josh mentioned before, the comments, the posting, the tags, all of the action. And it kind of gives you a little bit of a high. I mean, that's really why we post all of our opinions. You want to see that people enjoyed it. So we kind of term this as sort of successful opinion sharing. It's you reached that success. You reached that moment where people really enjoyed what you had to say. And really, that's what it all is. We enjoy when people are entertained with content that we post. That's what it's all about. You want to entertain people. And so the beauty about personalized entertainment is that everyone that sees it will have their own personal experience with it, their own individual outcome. So everyone will get that personal feeling. So we kind of came up with an analogy for this that basically if entertainment, watching a video, is like seeing a roller coaster go by, from an outside perspective, then personalized entertainment is actually riding it. So you feel that, when you're in the driver's seat, when you're being singled out, that's when entertainment is at its best. The best entertainment, we feel, will always involve the viewer. It always involves participation. Another great example of this, to really bring it on another level, I'm sure a lot of you know about the Wilderness Downtown. And at its bare bones, it was a great music video that involved a lot of new technologies, which was very cool. But as soon as they had the sentence, enter the address of the home where you grew up, it completely changed the experience. And now everyone goes around and everyone gets their own personal music video. And that's where entertainment changes. The viewer gets their own experience. Another great example, another very popular one, but for good reason, was the Museum of Me. Create and explore a visual archive of your social life. I mean, I personally remember when this came out, but it was on everybody's walls. Everyone was looking at it because it's too irresistible to pass up. You have to take part in it because it's starring you. So basically, overall, we really feel that personalization sets a new bar for entertainment. It makes it much, much more interesting and makes it, as I said, much more irresistible and too hard for people to pass up. So we feel that we really have to start engaging everyone as individually as we can in order to achieve this. And the truth is that content can't only be entertaining now. There's 1,000 great videos posted every day that all deserve to be shared, but you only have so much time in a day. You're not going to tell everyone about all these videos. So when you pass through that bar, you end up reaching a whole new level. And so we really have to start making everyone feel like they are personally being spoken to. And so now Katie will bring us through another way of entertainment that we find is equally as good.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Katie, and I'm going to talk to you about gaming today. So as my friends have already established a little bit, the more positive involvement you have with anything or anyone, the more positive opinion you'll have about that. It's true of any relationship. When you share a good experience with something and you're really invested in it, the better you'll feel about whoever you shared this with, and the more likely you are to go off and speak to your peers kindly about them. So, how do we further involve users? Well, we can play with them! Yay! People love to play. It's not just kids playing in the park. It's old men playing chess, out in the street. It's housewives playing Farmville on Facebook. This is just who we are. And as the world population now spends 3 million hours a week playing online games, which is a little awesome. We thought that we could actually take advantage of this, and there are brands that have already done this. We ask, why play? What is it about games that are so appealing that really bring people in? Well, they foster a sense of achievement. Everyone likes to win. They allow self-expression, and they provide unique experiences. Also, it's important, they're just fun. So, this makes us feel good, which in turn makes us want to share that feeling. You want other people to feel good, like Michael was saying. You want to share that entertaining content with other people. And you also kind of want to show off your own experience with the game. It's just part of it. So this isn't necessarily a brand new idea. McDonald's Monopoly is actually older than I am, which is a little weird. But McDonald's Monopoly has been going on for years, and people still are excited about it. People still look forward to that time of year that they get to play. It's all over the world now. And yeah, it's a huge success. It even makes the news every now and then. There are a few different ways that people can use games in their branding. These aren't the only ways, but here are a few examples we thought were pretty cool. Games can just be an engagement tool just to bring people in a little more. Another McDonald's example. This is the Pick and Play, kind of a creative twist on the age-old marketing trick of just giving away free stuff, which people will always love. People could actually play Pong from their iPhones and control this big screen over this crowded square, which honestly, like, I can't think of a better way to show off. And they get a coupon if they win. It can also be a product demonstration. I have a couple examples for this. People have always liked racing cars, so why not have them race your car? This is the Touareg Challenge, where users get to actually customize their Touaregs and kind of put their own personal flair on it, and then race it in different terrains, kind of showing off the capabilities of the car. This one is a little different. This is the MTVU Darfur is Dying game. I want to make one thing clear, like, I'm not saying that it's fun to be a Sudanese refugee, but I think it's really important because it kind of points out a lot of issues that people wouldn't be able to see otherwise, and shows them what these people have to go through every day, and also shows that if you apply gaming to anything, you can create buzz. Also, the campaign itself can be a game. This is one of my favorites. This is Bing worked with Jay-Z and with Droga. I think this was Droga 5. And they did the Decode Jay-Z, where they scattered all the pages of the books, and people were excited, and they look all over the world for them, either online or in person, which was really cool and really got a lot of attention. So we've already been kind of taught to think about what the story is behind the brand, and I think that this will always be important. But now you can start looking a little further, and in certain cases, think of what's the game behind the brand, so and how to get people interacting. So once again, this is not all, and to tell you about that, Casey will make herself useful.
Myself useful. Thanks, Katie. I'm Casey. Hey, guys. So everyone tonight has talked a lot about how to engage users and how to get them to participate with your brand based on what entertains them and what they want. What about what they need? What about the problems they face every day, the utilities that remain unaddressed, that we as brands can help solve in a very powerful way? So we as advertisers, well, you guys as advertisers, hopefully us one day as advertisers, spend our days asking ourselves what consumers want. What do they crave? What's going to entertain them? What's going to grab their attention and hold it? And we execute that. We give them their eyes, their ears, their mouths, their lives, all of that stuff. We give them what they want. But what about what they need? I need some faster Wi-Fi. Really? There you go. What about what they need? What about those problems that remain unsolved? What about those powerful connections we can make with them by simply making their lives a little more efficient? Well, the problem with that is that this idea of need is always pitted against this much more powerful and glamorous idea of want. But when you think about it, the idea of problem solving is never going to go out of style. People are never going to stop needing things. They're never going to say, oh, well, that's a problem I don't need solved right now. I can deal with it. So when push comes to shove, the idea of want will always be trumped by the idea of need. So let's think about that for a minute. Let's think about what our consumers need. Sleep, food, sex, entertainment. I think we can all agree that they would want all of the above. But there's something that we need to give them first before they can have all those things. We need to give them time, and we need to give them space. We need to give their lives efficiency. And we like to call this theory the 25th hour. It's basically creating a wedge of time, extra time in their day, by making the rest of their day more efficient. So don't worry, it's not science, it's strategy. It's putting something useful in a place that consumers already are. It's, at its most basic form, solving a problem. It's the absolute purest form of interaction, because all you're doing is giving a consumer a utility, you're solving a problem for them, and you're not asking for anything in return. And consumers appreciate that. They appreciate advertisers not asking for something immediately in return. And they express their appreciation in true form. They tell people about it. They get faster Wi-Fi. They tell others about it. They generate positive buzz around your brand. So we feel that it's time to really start recognizing those unbranded needs. For us, as coming into the industry, we really want to start recognizing these unbranded needs because they can create such a powerful, powerful connection with consumers. So I wanted to give you a real-world example that, to us, still remains unsolved. Cup holders in bathrooms. Think about the last time you were at a club or a bar or a restaurant. Walk into the bathroom, probably had a drink in your hand. There's absolutely no place to put it. You can balance it on the toilet tank or whatever holds the toilet paper. You can make the awful decision of putting it on the floor, where it will inevitably be kicked over by yourself or your neighbor. So this is, to us, it's such an obvious and pervasive problem that still remains unsolved, and it's so simple to solve. So think about this. The next time you walk into a bathroom, and you've got a drink in your hand, and you're thinking, oh, not again. But wait a minute, you look again. A brand has solved a huge problem for you by putting a cup holder in the bathroom stall. That's absolutely monumental. And monumental means you're going to take a picture of it and share it on Instagram. You're going to say something smart and clever to all your friends. You know, look, Mom, no hands. And you're going to generate positive buzz about this because you have just solved a huge problem for your consumer. All right? And monumental to consumers is the best because monumental doesn't stay quiet. Monumental gets shared. And monumental generates the most positive buzz there is. So we want to talk about a real-world example that was actually executed over in Korea. Tesco, is a grocery store brand, wanted to create this 25th hour for busy commuters. They wanted to help them get their grocery shopping done more efficiently, and so they came up with this very successful campaign.
Let the store come to the people. We created virtual stores, hoping to blend into people's everyday lives. Our first try was subway stations. Although virtual, the displays were exactly the same as actual stores, from the display to the merchandise. Only one thing was different. You use smartphones to shop. Scan the QR code with your phone and the product automatically lands in your online cart. When the online purchase is done, it will be delivered to your door right after you get home. People can relax more after work and on weekends.
실제로 보면서 사니까 진짜 더 좋은 것 같아요. 편하기도 하고.
Result: people can shop at Tesco Home Plus wherever they go without having to visit the actual store. Moreover, we could change their waiting time to shopping time.
So that last line right there, creating shopping time out of waiting time. They put a useful utility in a place consumers already were, creating or solving a powerful need and forming a very, very powerful interaction between consumer and a brand. And so a very, very successful 25th hour was created. They made the lives of commuters more efficient by helping them do two things with one, by solving a problem, by providing a utility. So we really want to, end this by saying that creating utilities that meet needs is the most basic form of interaction, because the participation that generates positive opinions is built right in. You solve a problem for people, you give them a utility, they want to tell others about it, and they want to share their appreciation for making their lives more efficient. And so brands, we really feel, should aim to solve these problems at all times. Entertainment is great and it has its value, but need is also very important too, and that idea of utility has to be remembered. So, just want to leave you that, if you think about it, a brand that satisfies a need is always going to be wanted. So, bring our ringleader back up, Josh, close us up.
Just to wrap everything up, again, we thought bright orange, wake you guys up, it's hot. Just one more slide. And so we're talking about to you today about participation, something that we really, really love, something that's popping up in a lot of our work, pretty passionate about, and how that generates that emotional shareholder, someone who then puts part of their emotion back into their brand that they participated with. And then we get up on our soapbox and we tell people about it. We give opinions on it, and normally pretty positive ones. So, we were talking about brands with personalities, we're talking about gaming, customized content, and utility. We know those are not all the ways we can do it. So what we'd really love to do is open the floor to you guys and see what you think about it. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do we waste your time? Would you like us to talk more? Any questions you have, we'd be happy to ask, and hopefully we can ask some of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.